Can I ask you sincerely to put those images of Staphylococcus bacteria in slutty laundry away from my direct vision, please, and absolutely don't visit www.pathogenwhores.com if you wish to survive my instant sexual rabies attack. I would begin to foam from my mouth and anus if you did that. I'm sorry, but I can't help myself in that situation. It's my libido kryptonite, and if you resort to alternatives like streptococcuswhores.com, I will begin to mimic mad cow disease and begin to slap you with my foreskin until it dislodges from my penis entirely. And you would think that why do I not just slap it off one time against the lantern or something so that I cannot slap my foreskin off anymore after that happens? But I wish that it was just so simple, but it actually more complicated than that, because it doesn't matter at all. I will find something to smack off my penis in that case. In the worst case scenario, I will punch my stiff penis like you would punch that iconic rebounding inflated clown thing that always comes back immediately whenever you strike it. The only difference is that my penis will not stay attached to my body when I go to town on it. So all I ask you to do is not to begin that sequence, because I would have a very bad evening if that were to happen. So logically, I avoid it at all costs. I would pounce on aggressively on my penis, like bam, 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 smacking it until it's just useless, bloody, raw organ meat, boom, bam, 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 bam. And if that paradoxically would make my penis getting more aroused and began letting me experience orgasms, I would feel offended by that. And in that case, I would grab a nail file, and I don't care how long it takes, but at the end of the day, I would have filed away every micrometer of my penis flesh until I can clinically be labeled as genderless. I already had a court summons because I began to aggressively nibble on the balls of my uncle Tobias Kennedy when I accidentally saw him browsing for pathogen porn, and he clicked on a virus fetish category, and I saw him looking at measles, fucking black plague bacteria, and long story short, law enforcement personnel tried getting me to let go off my Uncle Tobias, his scrotum flap that I was putting my teeth in. I just couldn't help myself no matter what I tried to do. My restraint was offline. I was just passionate about it. They tried and tried, but it was like trying to get a piece of steak away from a dog its mouth. At a certain point, the integrity of my uncle's nutsack completely gave out, and he needed to get a new skin graft for a new frame to be able to house his testicles in. He needed to pick them up and hold them under a running faucet to wash off the dust that accumulated by having fallen on the floor. My secret of looking like I have a ripped body at my age, it's not because I go to the gym like anybody else would, but I inject my muscles with fat-eating bacteria until the only thing that remains are my muscles and my skin that rests on it. And actually, that's all there is to it. I know it's not fair, but what can I say? Sometimes I'm just a complete ozemp prick or a ozemp dick, I guess. It's all up to you how you would classify my behavior, but if I'm honest to myself, I am both at once. I wished it was different, but I love swimming in the sewage because I have believed that bacteria overgrowth or sepsis is something that is misunderstood, because I think that in the right bacterial count, something happens with the neurotransmitter serotonin. I believe that a bacterial infestation bloodstream is going to be causing sepsis euphoria. That's why I only swim in rivers or lakes that have at least 1 billion bacteria colony count, because that's the magic number for euphoria. Oh, no, thank you. No whiskey on the rocks, but you can give me some sewage water on the rocks instead. Thank you. And if those ice cubes could be made from bacterial water, would be more appreciated. It's the same reason why I don't ever wash my hands when they go to the urinal, because I want those hands not to lose their magic potency of infestating my open wounds. If I were to have any, I love myself, some inflammation on my testicles or my penis shaft completely marinated with coronavirus. And the reason why I have the voice that I have is no coincidence either, because I experimented like everybody else with my body when I was younger, but I always had a knack for being saturated with bacterial filth all over me. Now, for a boy, I always was unnaturally flexible with joint movement. So not only did I learn how to masturbate, I managed to get into the position where I put my legs behind my neck and give myself a blowjob that made my penis bacteria get in my throat, destroying my voice box. And of course, because of my high tolerance for raw human sewage, I don't need to watch out for the risks of getting an illness from kissing ass in the literal sense of the implication. Since President Trump has given me the opportunity to be his health secretary, I give him the opportunity for me to actually kiss his ass, even French it. That's just the kind of person that I am. I believe in giving and receiving proportionally. If you give me a bacterial treat, I'll French your anus as well. I can't believe how I managed to keep on flipping off reality all the time. My biological nature, I guess. The neural connections that filter in reality probably stems from the fact that my frontal lobe is constantly being fucked by the lines of bacterial colonies I snort up there to get a microbial high from, and also the virus penises that I put in my morning coffee that constantly drips pathogen piss on my neocortex and absorbs it and kills off the crucial brain cells it needs to function. Joe, my friend, I would advise you to skip your annual flu vaccinations altogether. What I do instead is inject myself with my own sperm because it is not foreign to the body, and the absurdity of my theory is only matched by its stupidity. My belief is that sperm cells are being classified as reproduction soldiers that fight their way through harsh conditions all the time. Commitment and resolve are unmatched in being a biological entity, and when inoculated up the bloodstream, they will reach body parts they normally wouldn't visit at all. The logic is that they will enter all accessible parts of the body that are not relevant to them, but still have the commitment to fight their way towards the female clitoris, that they're going to be fighting their way back out of the places that do not correlate with their expectation of what the physiology of a female stink box should look like. They'll haul their ass out of there by any means when they come across a virus that happens to block their pathway. They would not appreciate anything standing in their way of achieving their goal of reaching the desired destination of the vagina, and will therefore fight their way through the viruses that obstruct their vaginal prospects and eradicate the virus in the process. I have my inoculation toolkit with me right now, so if you like, I will let you jerk off a batch of your soldiers in the next room, and afterwards I'll gladly shoot it up your veins for you. But a heads up, like all measurements, this has risks involved and side effects. For example, when your sperm cells reach your brain cells, they often clash over locational presence of biological roles they should be occupying, but the possibility always exists that their tempers are going to get the better of them. When discussions between the two kinds of cells escalate, it's without resolve, it's going to turn into a biological massacre where they go completely kamikaze on your ass.